Let us now get started with this course, and remember, this is a Revit architecture course. And to start with, we are going to look at this particular home page, and this is the page that you get after you download, install, and open Revit. So this is the home page that you are going to get. Now let us now look at something about this particular page. At the top here, at the top of the screen, note we are using Autodesk Revit 2023, and we are at the home page. So the version of Revit that we are going to use in this particular training is Revit version 2023. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot use earlier versions. You can, including even versions from 2016 all the way, because what happens is that the content is similar. There are only simple modifications that have been done, and you can find yourself, or you can get yourself through if you follow carefully. So if you're using another version, there is no problem. You can still follow from this particular Revit 2023. Now to get started, we are going to look at the things that we can find in this home page, and what we can find from this particular part is the recent files. So here in the recent files is where you find all the files that you have worked on, and they are going to be presented here as recent files. And currently we don't have recent files. What we have is the samples. So we have the sample projects or the sample models, and then we have the sample families. Now in Revit, we work with families, and the families are combined to form the model, and that's why you can see that we have these particular sample models and also the sample families. Therefore, in Revit, you can create a model, and also you can create a family, and that is why we have both the models. We have the recent files categorized as models, and also recent files that have been categorized as families. So we are going to look at families in a deeper way, but for now it is important that you note you can create both models and you can create families, and that is why we have the option to access the most recent families and also the most recent models. So that is it, and it is important that you note that. Now, because we have not worked on any model or even on any family, currently what we have is actually the samples. And Revit comes, when you install Revit, you're going to have these particular recent files with samples. And currently what we have is the architecture sample, that is the sample architecture project, the sample structure project, and the sample systems project. Again, with the families, we have the architecture family and a sample structural sample family and a sample systems family. Now this of course indicates to us that Revit can be used by within several disciplines, and one of them, and this is why we are concerned with, is actually the architecture designs, modeling and designs, and this is what we are going to be learning. But still, Revit can be used by the structural designs and modeling, and also it can be used by the systems designs and models. Now the systems includes the plumbing systems, the mechanical systems, the electrical systems, and each of these has a model. This is a sample model, and also has a sample family, and this of course is to help you get started. You just need to double click on any of these or you can just click on any of these to view what we have in this particular samples. So our case, we are going to be concerned with the architectural part of the Revit, and this is what this course is going to be concerned with. So that is it. Now any recent file that you're going to work on is going to be listed under the recent files, and once you open Revit, after closing it, you're going to be taken to this home page once again, and you can double click on that particular file to proceed with the modeling. Now towards the left here, At the bottom we have this particular home button. We are going to see how it comes into play. And then also we have this particular button as well. We are going to see how it is going to how it assists us. And then here we have the option to open a Revit model, or else to create a new Revit model. Now remember, still here we can create a model, or we can open a model. Again, we can create a family, and all we can open a family. So that is it. You can click on open if you have worked on a file or on a model and it is not listed in these recent files. You can just proceed and click on open a Revit model file, and then you can open it. Again, if someone have shared a file with you, a Revit file, you can just click on open and you'll be in a position to open it. Now we also have the option to create a new model, and we are going to see how you can create a new model. Again, you can open a family. So yeah, you can open a family, or else you can create a new family. Now let me just click on open here for the model. You note the all supported files that we have here: the .rvt, the .rfa, the .adsk, the .rte. Those are the files that can be opened by this particular button. Now .rvt means that is a Revit model. .rfa is actually a family, so you can still open a family using this particular open, because that's a supported file. We also have .adsk, so that of course is still a part of a component or a family, but this one is actually got from somewhere else, probably from a crowd, something like that. .rte is actually a template. We are going to look at templates later, but let me just proceed and cancel that. But those are the files extensions that you can open with the families. So if I click at the families here, for this one you can, with this open here, you can only open a .rfa, which of course is a file extension for the families. The file extension for the models is .rvt, but for the families is .rfa. And also you can open .adsk, which of course is a component that you get from somewhere else. Of course, is not a file that you have created here. So this .adsk is probably you have downloaded it from a crowd site. So that is it. You can still open it. Now let us now click on new, and we are going to get started with the models. Remember, the families are the ones that create the models. So let me click on this particular new, and once you click on new, and that is where we are going to get started, because we don't have any model that you have worked on. We get this worksheet where you can set up the template file. Now remember, we have seen the sample projects, and these sample projects, they have certain customizations, and these customizations, for example, the units for the use, are actually saved as a template. So you can decide to create a project based on a template. And currently, if I click at this particular down drop menu, you can see the V there, that is a down drop. You have the option to create various you have the option to create a project or a new project based on various templates. Now and you can see that the templates are also based on the discipline. For example, we have the metric systems template, the metric structural template, the metric architectural template. So usually usually a template is like a Revit. It's Revit, but it has certain customizations. For example, you can set a unit. You can, for example, change a unit that comes with Revit, and then you can save that as a template, such that any project that you open is going to be based on that particular unit that you have set. So that is just an example. You can do more customizations and then save those customizations as a template. So once you save them as a template, you can click on browse, and they have a .rte file template. We have other templates that comes here, but of course you can decide and locate a template that you save. We are going to look at creating templates later, but for now we are going to proceed with the templates that have been added or that are there by default. So you can just click on metric architectural template. Now the metric templates are actually based on metric systems. So these are the units, the millimeters, the centimeters, the meters. So it is based on a metric system. Imperial is based on the imperial system. So this includes the inches, the feet. So if you're coming from that particular background, probably you can just proceed with an imperial template, such that your units, the units are going to be imperial units. But if you are coming from the meters, millimeters, and centimeters, you can just proceed with the metric system. And in this case, because we are concerned with the architectural part, we are going to click on this metric architectural template. So that is the metric file that the template that we decide to use. If you don't want to have any template, you can just decide to click on none. Now in this case, if you choose none, you're going to have the default Revit without customizations. But of course, for our case, because we are getting started, we can just proceed and base or have architectural template. Now if you click on none, you need to proceed and customize Revit, and then you can save those template, you can save those customizations as a template, and then you can proceed and always retrieve that particular template either by clicking on browse, or else it can be listed somewhere here. Now here we have the metric architectural template. I would recommend we proceed with this particular template, especially because we are getting started for the first time. So we can click on that. Now we are going to create a new project. Don't worry about creating a new project template. We have not looked at templates, but we are going to look at that later. So what we want to create is a new project. So after you choose the metric architectural template, we are going to proceed and click OK. And once we click OK, Revit is going to organize itself based on that particular template, and we need to give it some time to organize itself. Now we have this particular Revit. This is the the window here to get to the, this is the interface. This is what you have. This is the workspace, and we are going to look at this particular workspace in a detailed way, and by the end of this course you are going to understand what you are going to have understood what each of these is and how you can use it in your modeling. But currently we have this particular page, and using these particular tools and other features, you can be able to create a model. Now this is based on a template. This particular project that we have created is based on a template, and let us now concentrate on this particular project browser. You note that we have this particular floor plans, and I just want us to look at another template. We can look at the none template so that we can see the difference. Now if you want to revert, or if you want to go back to the home page, just proceed and click at this particular home button, and there we are. Now I'll just proceed and click on new, and here we choose none. So we choose a template called none, and then we click OK. Now if you click on none, you need to choose the system of measurement. So here I'm going to proceed and click on metric. Another project is going to be created, and the name of this particular project is project 2. It is based on the none template. We have this particular project. If I click on this particular tab, we have project 1, which is based on the metric architectural template. Now note that this one, the one based on the architectural template, note we have 3 particular floor plans added, but with the template here, okay, the none, we have, let me click on this particular button to expand, and then we expand the floor plans. Note we only have this particular level, and of course you can proceed and add other levels, and then you save that as a template. Again, you can customize this particular architectural template. Note that this particular template have the elevation. This is actually an elevation view. It has an elevation added to the workspace, so this is called the workspace, but with the template based on none, it has no elevations added. So probably you can just get started with the architectural template, or you can just get started with a template, and then once you get used to Revit, you can save your own template based on the office workflow, and also based on the favorites that you need. So that is it. And before I finish up, let's proceed and click at this particular home button here, and then note that we have this particular button. You can click on it to get back to this the workspace here. So you can just click on this particular home button, proceed, and okay, look at whatever you want to look, and then you can proceed and click at this button to get back to the main workspace. So this is Revit architecture. We are going to look at the workspace itself, and then we can look at these particular tools, and we'll be in a position to know how we can use Revit for designs and also for modeling.